What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy, Dead on Dave, and we got a bunch to talk about today. So much happened in the world of sports that I decided I had to do a bunch of videos on everything that happened last night. So we're kicking it off today with the first video. I hope you guys are watching all the videos I do today because we're going to cover all the big stories from last night. We're going to start with the NBA playoffs. Now, usually, if you notice, if you've been around this channel for a while, you know I don't usually talk a lot of other sports all the time, mainly because I try to stick to what the people really do like on this channel, and that's the wrestling. However, when a sport affects me, I have got to talk about it. And, of course, in the NBA playoffs, the Chicago Bulls are there. So we're going to talk some Chicago Bulls and what they did to the Milwaukee Buccos. But first, we're going to start with an amazing series, the best series in the first round of the NBA playoffs. And that is, of course, the LA Clippers versus those San Antonio Spurs that never seem to die. They just don't want to quit. This has been an amazing series for a lot of reasons, and it's going 7 off of last night's game. The Clippers able to go to San Antonio and stave off elimination. This could be the end of the Spurs, and I'll tell you why. I like the Spurs. I think the Spurs are a very good team. The Graybeards take you deep into the playoffs. However, in a Game 6 at home, you cannot have disappearing acts by the geriatric committee of Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, and even Manu. Manu Ginobili. You cannot win a game in which Manu's only playing 14 minutes and scoring you 3 points. It's not going to work. Ginobili's too good of a player. He's too important. Yes, Benelli had a really nice game, but you're not going to win too many games when Marco Benelli and Patty Mills are your two best players on the court, and they were. The bigger story for me, for the Spurs, is not the disappearing act of the geriatric park residents, Duncan and all of them. It's more about why does Kawhi Leonard continue to disappear at points? He is their most talented player. Right now, Kawhi Leonard is the most talented player on that team, but he's also the most inconsistent. You're not going to win a series against the Clippers when Kawhi Leonard has a plus-minus of -19. That's not good. That's not good. He turned the ball over 4 times. It's just not going to work, man. He only had 2 dimes, 12 points. It's not going to work. You need more out of Kawhi Leonard. You need more out of your veterans. Your veterans can't take power naps in a Game 6 like this. And they were still in the game. It was a very competitive game. Look, it's unfortunate for the Spurs that they drew such a tough route to the finals. And really in the West, all the roads to the finals are very difficult. But none more difficult than this. The Clippers are a good matchup because they are the opposite of the Spurs in a lot of ways, with the youth that they have and the depth that they have. Even though this game really was carried by the starters. I mean, they got 10 – what did they get? Looks like they got about 15 points off the bench. Other than that, the Clippers starters is what really carried this game. You just got a bunch of studs, and different guys can beat you on different nights. Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan, Chris Paul those are your guys. Those are your guys. But you have a guy like J.J. Redick that if you get him the ball in open space, he's going to be able to hurt you day in, day out. And that's what he did last night. So the worry for the Spurs has to be, now you have to go back to La La Land, and you got to go into the Clippers' house, and you got to put them away in Game 7. You did just beat them in Game 5, so you should feel good about that. However, I just don't know. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to go back into the Clippers' house after them having the type of... They got the momentum now because of the fact that they were able to come to San Antonio and beat you guys on your home floor. Now it's Game 7. It's one game. The rest of the series means nothing. It's a one-game playoff. And you know what? it's good for the NBA when you have two teams that go at it like this, but it's bad as well because whoever comes out of this, it's a war of attrition. It's a war of attrition. And they're going to be sitting ducks in the next round. That's what I would normally say. But because of the talent on these two teams, look, I think it's a better possibility that the Clippers are going to have a deeper run if they move past in this series because of the younger talent that they have on the team. You can make the argument, though, that because the Spurs have been here before and they have all the aging veterans, that they can run deeper. That's a nice sentiment. But if your players are breaking down and taking major games off like this game, you're not going to win shit. You're not going to win shit because you can't. You can't possibly go on and win when your veterans, your stars, need to take naps. You know, they can't bring walkers out on the court. And I like the Spurs. I really do. I'm a fan of San Antonio. I like the way they play basketball. And I love the fact that the NBA hates the fact that they win so consistently. The Angel of Stern, freaking Stern, the last terrible commissioner of the NBA, hated the fact that San Antonio continued to win because they're not flashy. There's nothing flashy or fancy about them. They just go out and win. And the fact that Greg Popovich, for as great of a coach as he is, and he is, make no question about it, he's also one of the most pompous, arrogant, difficult human beings to work with in sports. And of course, that's not me saying that. That's going off of every reputable, I use that in quotations, journalist that's ever had to friggin' deal with the guy. So, I don't know. This is a pretty damn interesting series. It's been a lot of fun to watch. I think most people enjoy it. Get one more game out of it, and let's see what happens. My heart wants to go with San Antonio because I like that team, and I want to see this core of guys go on one more really nice run. But my brain is telling me you go to Lob City. That the Clippers are going to take this in Game 7 because they're rolling right now. They got to be on cloud 9. They got to feel good. And you never know. Steve Ballmer will probably buy them all gold and diamond encrusted friggin' iPads or something. I don't know, whatever Ballmer does. So everybody gets a Tesla, a Tesla Roadster if we win. It's crazy. So Game 7 should be quite the affair. I'm looking forward to that. But, of course, I'm only talking about the NBA at great length because it matters to me right now. Why does it matter to me? Because my Chicago Bulls are making a run in the playoffs. In fact, my Bulls went ahead and clinched the series against those pesky little Bucks. Milwaukee played the Bulls very hard. Now, look, the Bulls played this series, most of it, without any conviction. They turned the ball over far too often. They looked disinterested a lot, and Milwaukee was not going to go down without a fight. A lot of this could be said because the Bulls went up 3-0 in the series, and then they just kind of took their foot off the gas, which is a mistake. You can't do that in the NBA playoffs, even against teams that you feel that you can destroy. But even more so, when you have a team that has had the injury problems that the Bulls have had, and I'm talking about Derrick Rose and Jimmy Butler here, that are still getting back into the flow of everyday gameplay. You've got to be able to always keep your focus, always keep everything together, and continue to just grind because, for one, you want to get your guys re-gelled and reconnected, but you also want to be able to get some rest. So closing this out in 4 would have been a godsend, right? Well, that's what logic dictates. But on the other side of it, now the Bulls got 2 extra games against the team that really was never a threat. The Bulls, and they proved it in this game, 120-66, one of the most lopsided victories in playoff history. The Bulls showed they made a statement. They made a statement in this game. So you got 2 more games against a team that was never a threat to gel and start playing like the team that they should be able to play like. And going in to the next round against Cleveland, that's going to be paramount. So, granted, yes, it sucks that a couple more games had to be played by Derrick Rose and stuff, and you never know when that knee is going to go. And yeah, you want to get rest, but at the same time, you also want to stay in a groove. But because of the next series, because Kevin Love is out now for Cleveland, because the Bulls need to go in on all cylinders firing as one, this was a good thing for the Bulls to play 2 more games. I'm thinking getting stretched out a little bit by Milwaukee was a good thing. They got out of the series without any major injuries. Everyone seems to be ready to go. And some of your young guys, like Mirotic, who's a great player. He didn't have a great Game 6, but he didn't really need to. But at the same time, getting him more playoff experience is a good thing. You want young players to get their feet wet in the playoffs, and this is a really good thing for him. Same thing with McDermott. Oh, Dougie McD. These guys need to get more playing time in the playoffs and not be afraid to shine on the big stage. Look, you're going to see more LeBron James in this series than ever before. LeBron has to do a lot more now because of the fact that Kevin Love is out. And yes, everyone makes, cracks about the fact that Kevin Love didn't have the year that he was having in Minnesota. Well, you know what? He also has players around him for the first time in his career. Didn't have anybody in Minnesota. So that's why he was able to put up 30 and 18 and these ridiculous numbers that are unattainable. Yeah, he's a great player. But Jesus. And look, his production's going to be tough to replace. But Tristan Thompson's a damn good player. And he's going to be able to step in. So I do not think that the Cavs are any more vulnerable, if for any other reason, that Kyrie Irving is an amazing ball player who's really can throw up 50 when he wants to, it seems. But you still have the greatest player on the court. And whenever you have the greatest player on the court, the best talented guy in the world, and LeBron James, whenever you have that, you have a chance. You always have a chance. Every single game. That's the type of sport that basketball is. LeBron can take over a game at any time, and the Bulls are really going to have to play lockdown defense. They're going to have to play really smart offense. They're going to have to limit how much Bron has the ball. But I think the Bulls can win the series. I really do. I think the Bulls are a championship contender. And the fact that everyone is back together is a really good indicator of that. The final thing I want to say, and I'll get out of here on this, Derrick Rose has impressed the hell out of me because it seems like he came back after missing more time, had another knee problem. I think he has friggin' kneecap removed, he came back. He said, I'm going to play in these playoffs. And what he's done is quite simply said, I'm going to play with the most reckless abandon I have ever played with. I'm going balls out. If my knee tears off, then my leg drops to the ground. I don't care. I'm making a run. He seems like he wants a title, and he wants it now because I think he knows his window is closing. So go Chicago. Go Bulls. Kick some ass. I'm excited to see what happens against LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers. Should be a great round. Only one series left in the NBA, I believe. And that is the San Antonio and Clippers. No, Brooklyn and Atlanta still going too. I forgot about them. Brooklyn taking it to Atlanta. That's another one. That's tonight. Brooklyn and Atlanta, and that is a game. Game what? I have no idea. Game whatever. Brooklyn, Atlanta going at it again. The fact that they've been able to trade victories, and Brooklyn staying in it when nobody thought they would because how damn good Atlanta. Remember, this is a 1 versus 8 seed, so make sure you check that out as well. Should be a pretty damn good. I guess this is a game 6 tonight. This is a game 6 tonight between Atlanta and Brooklyn. So, should be a good game. Check that out. Let me know what else you guys want to hear talked about. I got a few more things I'm going to do on video today. We got an NFL draft. It's coming. I'm doing an NFL draft video. That is coming. I'm also going to talk NHL playoffs. That'll be the next video. Make sure you check that out. And then, of course, after all that's done, the SmackDown review will be happening. So a lot of stuff going on the channel today. Hope you guys enjoy it. Like, subscribe, and share, and we'll see you later right here on Dead on Dave Productions. Peace.